Fuckers. Yeah. So, this, hopefully by the whatever thumbnail I wind up putting in there, you'll probably hopefully know that this is a Wreck-It Ralph 2 review. Ralph Breaks the Internet. Overall, I did enjoy it. I definitely would recommend. I could recommend it to the kiddos, though. To be fair, most of these, there are two stingers. I wouldn't necessarily say it's worth staying for them, but I mean, the final one I felt was a little bit better, because the second one, you kind of seen that one in the trailer, which really didn't have anything to do with the actual story anyway. And plus, in the trailer itself, it kind of was but the way they kind of did this film, it was almost meant to be meta for those who actually seen the first trailer for Wreck-It Ralph Breaks the Internet, or teaser, or whatever it was, with the pancake milkshake thing. So just, that's the one thing you need to know. I probably won't spoil the other one. That one's kind of a, and though those are, I could see how some people be frustrated with them, so you don't necessarily need to see those. For the most part, this film is mostly, to me, it feels like it kind of takes place sometime shortly after the first, and it's not so much current time frame, because some of the things referenced in here does feel like it came out literally 6 years ago, around the time the first Wreck-It Ralph would come out. So so it makes it seem a little dated, or at least to the point where whatever film references are there, the parents that are probably going to be taking the kids to see this are the most likely the ones within my generation that'll probably get it, and not so much the younger audience kids. So there's jokes that are going to work for both sides. And they did kind of spoil a big part in the trailer with the Disney princesses, and there's more to it, and it's to the point where it's even better, and even a certain portion of that scene is cut out from that trailer that actually adds more and makes the scene better. And for the most part, this film is, like I said, it takes place after shortly after both Ralph and Penelope are friends. Penelope's starting to get bored with her time at Candy Crush, and due to certain things of Ralph trying to make it up to her by making another track, and somehow through that whole ordeal, the steering wheel to the game that she's a part of in the arcade breaks, and unfortunately the owner is not able to afford to pay the money needed to do so. Around this time frame, one of the plugins that was in the adapter or whatever, that winds up being a new plugin. The owner basically brings in the Wi-Fi. Winds up being used for the Wi-Fi, which is to the internet. And I do love and of course, as a result of this, at some point, the game having to be closed, leaving all of the characters that were from that game stranded in the adapter, and having to find new homes in some of the other games. They leave a sort of short little thing involving Fix-It Felix and the one sort of Halo-ish Black Ops kind of character chick, voiced by Jamie Lynch. Once again, Penelope and Wreck-It Ralph, Sarah Silverman, John C. Reilly reprising the voices for them. And also the Disney princesses, they actually reprise the voices of all the chicks, though I don't know if I would really consider Mulan a Disney princess necessarily. I'm not sure on that. I guess she's technically, a bigger named clan, part of a bigger clan in the dynasty, maybe? So I guess she might be considered in a sense of royalty. So but I wouldn't even know if I would consider her a princess, but well, that's whatever. Not against state, especially through that. No, finding out things I didn't know, like the chick who voiced Mulan, which I didn't even realize it, though. Thinking about it, I should have. And that's the chick who winds up playing Agent May for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. voiced her. And that's... which I'm not sure if I should really pronounce her name, because I feel like I may be misplacing the words. So, we're just going to leave it at that. Overall, I did enjoy it. Certain scenes that do happen that it's supposed to tug at you, to me, didn't hit me as hard. Of course, to me, it's a possibility that, from talking to my one friend that watched it, it worked on him, so it probably will work on others. But more because that guy used to be about as sensitive as I used to be about the same level of sensitive. And I have moments where I do still, but for some reason it didn't work here. And the last time I've been felt that sensitive to something like that was probably in Logan, so... And I have more of a sentimental value of that for reasons, but here and there. So... But yeah, overall, I enjoyed the film. I'm not sure I would say it's entire... there are moments about it that are great. Disney didn't get too overindulgent in using it. And there's just so many other jokes that happen in here between them and Princess, especially near the end. There's more involving the busy apprentice. It's so great. That's why all the scenes involving them were actually the best part of the movie. The only other time that was kind of funny to me, just as being more of a comic book movie fan or just the superhero genre thing, especially with Disney owning Marvel rights, that whole scene, that thing, there was a scene with the kids. That was just kind of, that sort of comment section type of thing, or, one of those, how do I put it, with one of the comic book characters, with a certain particular Marvel character, and some snobby kind of kid, like it was kind of almost in a very, it's done like those questions you have at a Comic-Con kind of a thing, so which was very interesting. And there were a lot of other references even to the games. And for the most part, they're just going to the internet just to get the steering wheel, and it winds up turning into something more and a life lesson involving friendship and sometimes how, life happens, and sometimes some friends kind of don't, sometimes we have friends, they are individual people as well as you, and they'll want to do different things and, want to go on a different path, and sometimes that can leave you stranded or make you feel more isolated and stuff, and just something to the extent where it goes deeper into almost Pixar level territory by that point, though it doesn't hit exactly in that way like Inside Out kind of did, if we're talking about recent ones. Or even to the extent where I almost want to say I liked Incredibles 2 more, but that's even hard for me to say on that. But I'm starting to debate on that too, but I don't know if I can say it's better than the first film. Plus, there isn't exactly a clear villain, as it's really just it's more kind of similar in the sense of what we got out of Ant-Man and the Wasp. No real clear villain, more just certain obstacles that kind of get in that way, and plus you kind of do have a sort of villain, and that sort of villain leads to another sort of villain, or at least creating an obstacle, yet we don't see anything from that certain particular other, or see what happened to that other thing after it did that thing that led to that bigger ordeal was kind of ironic given what happened earlier in the movie that Ralph would have to do for Penelope to get the steering wheel. So it was just... And yeah, it was definitely... Yeah, plus, it's kind of done in such a way that Ralph kind of is sort of does certain things in it that at this point kind of cause more problems than solve at this point. It's hard to explain without going completely into spoilers, so that's the best I could do without seeming like I'm spoiling the movie. But overall, I did enjoy and like what we got here. I don't expect to see a Wreck-It Ralph 3, or at least if we do, I don't expect it to offer much that we haven't already got here, except it's a possibility we might get what we have here, but go more over the top. Eventually, this is basically saying, hey, Emoji Movie, we're going to do this, but far better. And that's kind of what you got here. And overall, I did like the film. It's definitely pretty dang good. It's definitely quality entertainment. It's worth probably checking out more than once. I'll give it a thumbs up. Thumbs up overall. Potentially, I could say it rocks, but maybe not in the same extent to the first film, as I would say it's far better version of what we had from the Emoji Movie, which felt more like a product placement, whereas this, not really so much. Like, there's more story, and the other characters that are kind of sort of like product placements are actually drive the story as opposed to just being there for product placement. So, you know, and plus Disney just also flaunting the money that they have, the buku amount of money to be able to pull this kind of stuff off because they can. You know, as opposed to just whatever Emoji Movie was. So, yeah, that's what I'd have to say overall about the film without having to know spoilers. Definitely worthwhile, definitely worth checking out. Now, definitely worth taking your kids to. I think both kids and adults will find ways to enjoy this, most especially somehow, some way with the Disney princess. There's more, like I said, there's more to that, and you'll definitely enjoy that part. More so, or less. But what did you guys think of Wreck-It Ralph 2, Ralph Breaks the Internet? It's kind of a mouthful of a title, really, and a tongue twister if you're not careful. But what do you guys think? Leave a comment below, let me know. If also check out my Facebook page, link in the description below. Follow me and like there. Mark the like button with thrust if you must for this video if you liked it. And as always, guys, keep it random, keep it real, keep it rocking. I'll see you in the next video. Take care, y'all.